Hi, this is Mark with Right Line Trading, and I'm going to go over our trading today. Today was a tough day, and today, we've only had two losing days this month, and today the market reminded me um, was a humbling experience today because if you don't trade ultra conservative and you just get a little bit um, pumped up when you don't take a losing day for a significant period of time, the market's going to remind you very, very quickly that it is the master. Um, we didn't have a big loss, but I had a lot of trades today, and it was a hard day, and I'll show you. Now, first, on bonds, there just really weren't any good trades. I was in the room early this morning, and this is the whole day in bonds. And actually, let me just reload all the historical data here. I'm not sure this is the whole day for some reason. It might be. Yeah, it is. It's only 12:48 Eastern. Yeah, that's it. There was just nothing here. I mean, this break of the 50 to the downside was tradable, but it was at 7:30 this morning. So there was just nothing on bonds to trade. And likewise on notes, there was nothing. And what surprised me was that during excuse me, that during periods of time where the ES made huge moves, there was really no reciprocal movement in bonds. You can see here, just nothing. Now this is on a yellow modified 15. So, excuse me if the phone is ringing here. So this entry here just wasn't valid. Could not take that on a yellow 15. So really nothing on notes and nothing on bonds. Excuse me. Now let's go over. It's cold, and we're in Florida, but well, I'm freezing. So anyway, here is crude. I'm sorry. Here's gold. Let's take a look at gold. I was in the room about 8 o'clock in the morning. This is a very, very risky C candle long here. It's way off the modified 15. 8 ticks, and it did go up. This break of the 50 to the downside came on a rising 50, and it is a dangerous trade. Obviously, it worked. Now, and this retracement was way off the modified 15. I mean, this is just not a safe move to take to the downside. And if you adhere to our rules, we're looking for specificity, not sensitivity. And with that, we're going to get moves we just can't get into. And this was a short trade on gold. We just could not. Could not catch. And then as we move across on gold, let me take out all of these lines here. I took this trade. Now this was one trade. The move up, the retracement, and this move up would have worked. But I missed it. So what I did was I took the next retracement. And our trailing stop is just too tight. And what happens was the trade pushed up a tick through our entry, pulled our trailing stop up to minus, actually it was a -6, not a -7, which is really irrelevant. It's only a tick. Didn't change our net equity by only by $40. But if we had a 10-tick trailer here, this would have never stopped me out. What I didn't do is recover from the loss, take the next entry up. And that was a nice winner. And that's what you got to do. Sometimes when you're taken out of a trade by a tick or two and it retraces right back just a little bit tighter. I mean, this is very tight to the 15. This retraced even tighter to the 15. You just get that re-entry. So the difference between these two trades would have been is only marginal. This is really a 6-tick trade times 4 contracts is 240, and this is a $200 winner. So you only lose $40 here, and I just didn't do it, and that was really that was on me. Now this trade here. MA diff was only 14, was not oversold. This was another potential winner. Now this retraced from the entry 8 ticks. Now we're changing this to a 9-tick trailer because if I would have taken this trade, this was a jittery day in the market, and just on this move back, it would have taken us out at -7 and it would have given us another loser, and then it would have moved up to be a winner. That's why it was a tough day to trade today. You can see with this kind of jittery market how difficult it was. This shouldn't have been a loser, but based on our tight ATM strategy, it was. It's not the system. I mean, it's giving us good entries. We just got to give these trades a little room to breathe. Then we had the move down, the move up, and crude went down for 9, and then we were done on crude. So crude wasn't a bad chart to us today. We're just strangling the trade on some of these markets. Now let's take a look at the Russell. Now unfortunately we were done with the room, and then the Russell. Well, I'll start at the beginning, but the Russell obviously gave us some nice trades later. Now, I missed some trades on the Russell, which really, part of this is the fact I'm watching 6 markets at the same time, and it's just too much. And I'm going to have to break this down a little bit. This is a very nice short trade on the Russell. And right down, I just missed. Now, this was a very aggressive continuation short. I would not have taken that trade. But this trade, the move up, down, retracement right into the modified 15, down, candles outlined in red, order flow, stochastic, and momentum with the trade, bam, down 18. I mean, that's a gimme trade, and it's a pivot breaking trade. You've got background bias, you've got everything, and I just missed it. So you can see that I missed some really nice opportunities here. And you just can't afford to do that. Now this C came on a yellow modified 15, and I love the trade. Structurally it was terrific, but we just don't trade a yellow 15, and that yellow 15 saves us from taking multiple losers, and it's going to hold up some winners. That's the specificity we trade with. Now this broke through the 15 on a yellow 15. I just let it retrace, and it moved down for 10. Then it broke again through a yellow 15. This was way off the modified 15 to trade. This is way oversold. And this is where the Russell, we just couldn't catch this move. No retracement. Yellow modified 15. Now this is a very aggressive trade to the upside. No bias, no order flow, no momentum on this long signal, I would not have taken that trade. But here, well, that's on a yellow 15. But here is a nice trade. And again, this is a pivot buster. Now, we were done in the room at 12:08. So this wasn't a missed trade, but this is just one that matured after we closed the room, which was a shame. That's a $200 winner. And then on crude oil, I was in the room early. This was an 8:33 trade. It was the move down. And this retraced right into the 50. Broke the 15 and the 50. It went down for 15 ticks. I took the trade out at 4. It was a $160 trade. Then we had the break and the retracement, and these are the setups I missed on some of these other trades, and this went down for 17 ticks. Dangerous trade, break and retracement. The 50 is red, no bias, but it worked. Now this, based on our trailing stop right now and retracement, would have been a loser. It would have come back and stopped us out. And then this would have been the winner. So we really have to loosen up our trailing stop. But these are two retracements. This, if you entered here, was really a successful. If you entered here, that would have been successful too, would have given you a nice trade. And this was a perfect trade. And again, with a looser trailing stop, it's another trade. It took us out of the trade at -7. And actually, again, it's another -6. So it really changes our net equity. That was a $40 change. Here's another $40 change. So that's $80 difference. But then I have to recover from the loss. The retracement, back, and up. And then we had the final trade on crude, retracement, and down for 6. And this is probably a complicated video because I'm showing you all these potential trades, but I'll go over all the trades we did take. It's a great system, and I don't think there's any better trading system out there. You just have to use your noodle a little bit and trade it with a little bit of authority. And I think you can't watch. You're going to get great trades on the few markets you watch, and I'm watching 6 right now, and I just think it's a little bit overwhelming. You can see what a great trade this was. The move up, retracement. Next tick came with bias, order flow, and momentum, with the trade down for 16 ticks. Now here's where I got really hurt. And this was the humbling experience. When you watch 4 markets, you're going to miss some trades. But I've only had 2 losing days this month and very, very few losers. But I took this retracement, and it didn't go anywhere. I took the retracement again, and it didn't go anywhere again. So this was really tough. Now this went 2 ticks in our favor, so this was a 5. This trade went 3 ticks in our favor, so that's a 4. So I'm just going to modify it because it does change our net equity a bit. And I had two -7s, which are merely -6s. And then I took 2 more losers on the ES. I didn't trade with bias, but the 15 was heading up hard. The market went up, retraced, and went nowhere. It just collapsed. And I took it again, up, retracement, and collapsed again. And then just trailing stop or no on the ES. It was. This is what happens when you don't trade with bias. On the higher time frames, this market was sitting below resistance on multiple higher time frames. It couldn't break it, and it collapsed. With bias here, you had broken all support to the downside, and this was you're just going to get losers. There's nothing I can do about that. But on these were not great trades. And then I took these two winners. Retracement, up, down for a point. That's our first target. That's our target. Up, down, retrace, down for a point. Now this market was just marginally oversold, and I did not chase it down. Now this is a move up. We saw how tough it can be when you trade without bias. This is the way, this was the kind of day it was today. It was just like the moon and the sun and the stars. Without bias here, it goes 11 ticks. And these are just these are entries you cannot take. So it was a rugged day today for me, but you know what? It's a reminder. It really is. Now I'm going to change the net equity because we calculated it wrong. Now this -7 is a -6, and this -7 is a -6, and one of these -5s is a -4. And I'm just going to change the net equity. It increases our ticks to 36. And let me just so it's an additional $140. So we did lose 225 and subtract 140, and really our loss today. No, that's not right, I don't think. Yeah, it is 225 minus 140 is 85. We only lost $85 today. I'm going to change that because that's really the accurate number. I didn't scale those losers correct. Now the auto trader had one trade and one winner, and just to show you, this was the auto trader trade right here. Now I took a loss on it, but because the auto trader is trading on a 10-tick trailer that doesn't move, the auto trader pushed up and got 9 ticks and wound up with a $180 winner. I took the same trade as the auto trader and took on this trade. This is actually a 6-tick loser. This is one of the trades that I modified, a 6-tick loss, and that's why we need to open up the stop a bit and give the trade a little bit more room to breathe. So on 13 trades, 7 winners and I'm sorry, this is 6 losers. On the Russell, we had +10. On gold, we had +9 and +6. On crude, +15, +17, +6. And you saw that -6 on crude. On the auto trader was a winner, just too tight of a stop. On the ES, I had +4 and +4, point and a point, which is our target. I had a -5, and I had a -4, and I had 2 trades that were very risky trades that I shouldn't have taken. Humbling to take 6 losers. 2, 3, 4. Do I have them all here? I should. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 6 losers 7 winners, just about offset them to give us a net equity loss of only $85. Auto Trader made $180, one trade, 9 ticks. So it was a rugged day and a reminder of how conservative you have to be. You do not need many trades to have a winning day in the market, and you have to stay conservative. Now tomorrow I'm gonna come into the room early, like I did today. We're gonna start trading at 8:15, and try to get done early. So come on into the room for a free trial. Go to www.rightlinetrading.com. There you'll see a link to our daily net equity in the trading room, a link to our daily net equity for the auto. You'll see the sign up page for the free trial in the trading room, and you will also see a contact us page. You can email us directly at info@rightlinetrading.com or call us at 1-855-765-6681. I mentioned today was 1/28/2015, I believe. And we have a webinar tonight. We hope you'll attend. If you haven't received a link, just go to www.rightlinetrading.com and just request one, and we'll be happy to send you one. Now, we're the only company on the internet that does this every day. Shows your exact entries, our exact loss on every trade, calculates a net equity, and posts it on a spreadsheet. When we have a rugged day like we do today, we don't hide it. We stick it right out there. If anything, if I would have just not taken these overly aggressive trades, and today was a good reminder, and we had a little more breathing room on our stop, we could have posted a nice winning day today. In addition, I missed some nice entries on the Russell particularly. So that's it for today. I try to make these instructive, and I want you to see that to be a professional day trader, you have to do an assessment of your trading. You have to look and see what great trades you potentially didn't see. Now remember, at the time I didn't see them. I may have been looking at another market. That's going to happen when you spread your thought, concentration, and focus across 6 different markets. You don't miss a trade like that for no reason. But it's good to see it it's good to do the retrospective analysis and take a close look at your losers. I mean, there were a couple of losers I took that just were perfect trades and didn't go. A couple of the losers I took did go. They just were strangled by a very, very narrow trailing stop. And we have to open that up and give the trade a little bit more room to breathe. So listen, everyone, have a great afternoon. Really, and we do this really for educational reasons. We want you to see how we do in the room, how we trade, what our thought processes are. Now, there are people in the room that made a lot of money today. I mean, we have one guy in the room who's just who's a trading prodigy, and he managed to he doesn't trade the ES, so those trades were not even an issue, and he got a lot of winning setups. So, my effort is not necessarily the effort of everyone in the trading room. There are traders in there that are better than me, and a couple in particular. They're just outstanding traders, and just pick off lots of winners. And he was on Sim because he had finished for the day, but he picked up on Sim this winner, which we were done in the room. And he also picked up a winner. I believe it might have been this winner on the ES, when we were also done in the room. And this is an additional $400 if I just would have hung in there, but it looked like the market was dead. We closed out with a couple of winners in a row. Market looked really choppy, can't predict. So I did close out for the day. So listen, everyone, have a great afternoon. Hopefully I'll see you at the webinar this evening, and come into the room for a free trial. Take care.